In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize we need to feel.
Hello Leo, welcome to your reading. Not sure what's going to come up today. I do feel compelled to do this reading, even though there's a lot of background noise where I'm at, so hopefully it doesn't show too much on the audio, but we're going to go ahead anyway. So going to look at maybe a release and receive situation where there's something you need to release, something you need to receive. And then at the end, I'm actually going to do an interactive pick a card option to see if we can get further awareness for you individually, so that at least you can tune into your own intuition. And I really like people being able to do that. I feel like it gives them more insight, and it also provides you that opportunity to keep exercising that intuition muscle. We all have it, so let's play. So I'm going to actually start with an essential oil. I just like that to vibrationally open up the energy of the reading. It's more of an emotional awareness, really. Ooh, Fregonia. Okay, so Fregonia speaks to me about being a little bit fragmented. Bit scattered energy. So I'm just going to inhale that maybe out throughout the reading. It's going to help some sort of upliftment, so you will benefit from it too. If you have any understanding about energy, you know it has no boundaries. So we're going to start with Fregonia. So something scattered, something fragmented. So I'm going to get some, let's start with an oracle card actually. This is my Sacred Traveler deck. So yeah, maybe have a think about what do you feel a bit fragmented about right now, or scattered, or how do you need to get back into some sort of alignment? Okay, Leo, one card if we can on what the focus is for Leo. What messages does Leo need to okay. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. And at the bottom of the deck is in the flow. Everything is smooth sailing. So that's the underlining message. So that's kind of where you're heading to, or trying to head towards. Stepping into your power. You're strong beyond measure. And this is actually quite similar to the Hermit card, isn't it? Where you're kind of you're being called to follow your own guided light. And if we're having like a fragmented energy around that, it might mean that you're splitting yourself off into pieces, maybe to please others, or some sort of expectation of what you need to be doing. But you are strong beyond measure. So that's like the focus for the reading. So let's see where it goes. I'm going to get a couple of cards from Tarot, just to see where your current energy is, what you need to release. And then this is my Lightseers Tarot, for those that are interested. So let's see what Leo needs to release around this energy of stepping into their power, finding their flow, and releasing any sort of fragmented energy that might not be serving you at the moment. Okay. Whoa, quickly. So you have the Hierophant and the Two of Cups. Wow, yes. And the bottom of the deck is the Magician. You know, it's interesting because you have the Hierophant and Two of Cups, and you know, when we're looking at fragmented energy and we're trying to look at stepping into our power, Hierophant energy for me is kind of blending the spiritual world and the physical world and being in line with that. It's like tuning into your higher wisdom, higher power, your guided messages. You are being guided, so there is a direct link to your own downloads and then bringing it into the physical space. And it's like an equal energy exchange, right? So you bring it in and you manifest it through. And then you've got the Two of Cups, which is also about an equal exchange of energy, right? It's where it's give and take, it's received and given. It's but there's no debt around that. It's actually very it's conducive to your goal. So with that in the release position, it might mean that there's some energy around that you're not that is actually costing you. There's an output of your energy that's not in your highest good, and that you might be feeling like it's a bit of a drain, or it's a bit of a the cost benefit's not there. It's depleting energy. It's not in alignment with your actual stepping into your own power. So that could, like, I mean, the Hierophant card speaks about some sort of even a marriage or some sort of legal union. Let's not get too specific because energy is different for everyone and everyone's situation is different. But I think you understand that there is some sort of commitment that you've made that you might need to release, whether it's a business commitment, a friendship commitment, a relationship commitment, or any sort of project that you've been working on that you felt committed to, but it's actually draining you. It's not creating an equal exchange of energy. It's not providing that emotional flow. Yeah, because you've got the bottom of the deck, right? In flow, everything is smooth sailing. So it is kind of that energy, and you'll recognize it when you're in it. Sometimes it's hard to find it when you're not in that energy of flow, but you know when you're in the zone, or when you're in that flow, when you're in that bliss state, and it does become this kind of energy of equal give and take and flow, and it definitely is stepping towards your power. You feel powerful by the decisions you make. You feel aligned, totally aligned with your higher wisdom and your grounded energy in the material world. So I find that quite interesting that, and it's actually a strong message, because Two of Cups is a strong message anyway, but also the Hierophant being a major arcana, there's a strong message here that you need to release what you may have previously committed to that no longer serves you. And you've got the Magician at the bottom of this card, so it's like an energy where you have what you need, you're trying to manifest a new way of doing it. Yeah, you've got Five of Pentacles underneath and the King of Pentacles. So it's like you're kind of being torn between your responsibilities of what you need to do and your commitments and your word. And a lot of that does feel emotional for you because you are a person of your word and your commitment. And so letting go, you almost might feel like a failure to yourself, but that's actually not the case. You are allowed to change your mind. Your word is your word in the moment, but the next moment can change too. And it's about propelling yourself forward, always choosing the next step that's available to you, that feels good to you, that helps you step into this power. So it's like letting yourself off the hook, You are allowed to reassess. You are allowed to examine your current situation, because this fragmented energy is very split. It's going to be depleting a lot of areas. So actually I'm going to inhale some of that, because I do feel I'm actually feeling it really heavily in my throat. It's like the throat chakra. It's afraid to speak your truth. It's afraid to be heard. It's hard. It's hard setting those boundaries for yourself. It's hard to fight your own corner sometimes, especially when you feel you're letting other people down. But it's kind of what it's asking you to release right now. Release this expectation that you owe other people certain promises you may have made, or, And just think back, if there's something that's actually standing out for you in this reading, think about when you made that commitment. Were you standing in your power then? Or was it again maybe just trying to please everyone around you at that time? Because this feels like a second chance. It feels like a second chance to reassess that decision you made. When you made that decision to commit to this, this energy, were you in alignment? Was it empowering or disempowering? Or was it short money? You were just trying to go along with it for now until, you know, to see where it goes. Okay, so what energy do you need to receive for Leo? Energy for Leo to receive or to step into. What's coming towards Leo? Currently in Melbourne, and it's it's winter solstice today actually, and my hands are freezing. So can we have one more card for Leo? For what they need to receive or step into. Ace of Pentacles and Six of Voices, which is Six of Swords. Yeah, it's like a new beginning, a new venture with yourself, a new physical energy space that you need to step into, or that you will be stepping into soon, when you can get the clarity of how this has been holding you back, this situation, and it's kind of guiding you towards that. So you're going to have this new opportunity, or a new relationship, or a new beginning of some kind in the material world. So it is here, and it is recognizable, it is tangible, and it's just about, you know how she's got her eyes closed here? It's really funny, because normally when I look at this card, it kind of feels very energetically emotional, but today it kind of feels a bit fragmented. It almost feels a bit like, this feels a bit like weeds to me today, but it's at the pass. So you are coming out of the weeds. It's like you're coming out of this energy where you've been kind of entangled in other people's expectations of you, and now you're starting to see your own potential. You're going to be seeing how strong you are, how you are beyond your measure. And you're actually going to be taking, this almost looks like an Ace of Wands, even though it's Ace of Materials. I feel like you're trying to find your inner baton and to bring that forward with your own intention for what you want in this journey. Her eyes are closed, so I feel like she needs to do a bit of tapping into the third eye energy to try and create that future vision for herself, future insight, and see what she can bring out for herself, because you're traveling towards it. This is arriving. You're being guided. You're moving towards whatever it is that you have manifested. Yeah, I'm just looking at these two cards here, you know. It's like she has to kind of bring into her vision, and then into the palm of her hand, a version of herself that she can identify to, even if it's a small version of herself, because you are going to be strong beyond measure. So it's not that you have to start big with some grand idea of what your next journey will be, or where you need to take this energy forward to not be so fragmented. It's like, start small. Just create an identity for yourself that you can actually hold on to right now, and you can lead with it, and trust that it's getting bridged from your vision and into reality. You're taking what you need and what you want, and slowly manifesting it. Yeah, and you know, the bottom of this deck again with the everything is smooth sailing. You know, the traditional Six of Swords card is actually a boat traveling towards the next destination. And I feel like that's getting confirmed again in this card here of being in flow, smooth sailing, you know, not too many bumps, not too many waves, just take it at your own pace, and cut out some of the bumps here, you know, just find that equilibrium again. I'm actually going to see if there is a sabotage that might be blocking some of this energy between releasing and receiving, and what seems to be holding you back. If there is actually something deeper we can gain awareness on. Can we have a sabotage card for Leo? Liked. To be liked or not to be liked. So this is the energy between the two. And you know, I totally get that when you are a bit of a people pleaser, and I can totally resonate with this. It's almost like you might not even care to be liked, but you just don't want to not be liked. So it's like this quandary, you know. Leo energy, they're quite strong with their emotions, you know. They don't give their heart out easily. They do love the people that they love, and you know, they might be liked more than they like to like back. It's just that at the moment you're blocking this. So maybe just think about a time in your past where it was easier to be liked than to actually push your agenda forward. Like, when did the people pleasing start, do you think? Or when did you prefer to just, instead of going with the flow of everyone else, is getting in the flow with yourself? So when did that start to be an issue? Because the sabotage program is about being liked and about not upsetting or rocking the boat, you know, to that smooth sailing. You didn't want to rock the boat, and you didn't want to put yourself first. Even in this card, look at these points here, you know, like, things can be rocky, things can be pointy. There's always people's other agenda that can be in our way, or obstacles in our way. But it's trusting your own guidance to bridge over that and to find the smooth sailing for yourself. And you can only do that when you are being you. It's so freeing and so scary to be exactly your unique self. But you know, when you have that template of who you are, or that blueprint, and you own it, and you can tap into your higher awareness, like, it's like ecstasy, because you can't actually do any wrong. Like, there is no wrong. You know, our mental brain can get in the way, but when you're actually following your path, there is no wrong. And when you're not comparing it to anyone else's agenda, it's so freeing. So I just wanted to, actually wasn't ready, sorry. I just want to get some awareness, if we can, more so on the sabotage about being liked. Let me just give them one more shuffle, because I'm feeling compelled to do that. Okay, so for Leo's sabotage, can we get any further messages on the sabotage program of being liked? Three of Cups, Two of Swords, and Page of Wands. Yeah, so there's something where perhaps you were celebrating something, or you were part of a community, but and you wanted to be liked, but you were indecisive about it. You couldn't quite go along with it, so you had to make some blind decisions, some blind moves that really wasn't in your highest good. I think because you were quite young, because with the Page of Wands, it's like you had your own internal fire going, but you were probably too young or to handle how you could step into that power. So when was there like a friendship group or even I would say it's young, so I'm not even going to consider a work environment, but as whatever resonates to you, you'll be and with sabotage programs, even if you can cling on to one scenario in your life that's similar, you might find that it's echoed back and back and back, because once we create a sabotage program, we just love to repeat it. So no judgment, no guilt, no shame there, but that's kind of how our brains work, because it was probably safer to go along with the flow, even though you were feeling torn and a bit blinded by the vision of others. You just kind of felt that it was safer to just not make decisions for yourself necessarily, and not be able to step into your own desires, possibly because you were a bit young or a bit green on what they were anyway, so you didn't have the full confidence to make the right decision at the time. So it was just easier to go with the flow and be liked. So see how that resonates with you. What I'm going to do now is actually do the pick a card option. So I just want to pull out 3 of my acupressure cards. This will help give you a physical remedy to maybe try and help find deeper awareness, number 1, emotionally and metaphysically, but also to give you a tangible remedy that you could maybe sit with after this reading if you feel that this reading has resonated with you. So I'm going to do 3 cards and then you just pick what you feel drawn to. I'm actually going to split the deck instead of shuffling them, just because I don't want them to jump over. Okay, so card 1, card 2, card 3. Might be an idea to move them into shot. So just see where your eyes are drawn to. So just imagine your energy field as a magnet, and see which one you're kind of like landing on the most. I wouldn't overthink it. I would just kind of go with what intuitively like springs to mind straight away. What's good about remedies or energetic remedies is, the body works with the law of deficiency, so it's going to take what it needs from it anyway. But I also don't believe in accidents, so the card that you picked will be yours. So I'm going to reveal the cards, but I'm also going to add a kind of maybe a final message from one of my other decks. Okay, so card number 1. Small intestine. So the small intestine is again about kind of how you're nourishing yourself, or what is it that you can't digest right now. So when we think about the story that's already shown up, or the message about, kind of how you're assimilating in your environment, the small intestine as a physical organ, because we're not talking about physical organs. I'm not a medical doctor, so that goes without saying. This is an energetic remedy. Meridian systems is an energetic system. And it just has emotional components to it and metaphysical awareness around it. So that's what I'm asking you to receive if you so wish. Free will, free choice. But there is a couple of points here, and this is the emotional, neuro-emotional point, and it's just behind or just on the top of your shoulder blades. So feel free to rub these points. If you can reach it, you can reach it. Actually, a good line is if you can just put your arm over your shoulder The point at which your fingers kind of reach is a good spot to be, you know, it's a good indicator that you've hit the right spot. But remember, law of deficiency, the body will always take what it needs. It's quite a greedy space, so it's always going to take what's beneficial for it. So yeah, just have a rub of those, and they might even be tender, so just keep rubbing them until, I'm actually doing them now and they actually do feel tender for me. So I'm actually going to rub them while we talk. But yeah, so the small intestine, when you think about it as a physical organ, it is taking all the nutrition and nourishment and vitamins and nutrients that the body needs, and it finds a way to try and deliver it. So if you think about that on an emotional, metaphysical way, what is it that you're not being nourished in? Or what is it that you feel hard to digest? And it's quite similar to the story, right, of being fragmented about, you know, pouring from an empty cup or not receiving an equal exchange of your energy output. How can you nourish yourself to bring in this reality of receiving this new, a new planted seed for your new travels, for your new journey? Again, to be liked, the sabotage. You know, where were you not being nourished, and how can you turn that around? How can you take small steps to nourish yourself? I'm going to get a final message. Just to close out the reading. Okay, can we have a final message for pile number 1? Divine wisdom guides me. See, reference to the third eye there again, and planting something of your own. I am guided throughout this day in making the right choices. Divine intelligence continuously guides me in the realization of my goals. I am safe. Completely perfect for this reading. Again, this kind of echoes the Hierophant. It echoes your own wisdom. It's about stepping into your own power. It's about using your third eye chakra to have a vision for yourself, something even small that you can hold on to, and planting that seed for yourself. Just small steps to nourish yourself, to fertilize your own soil, to get where you need to go, to step into your power, to really just find your own inner strength and build from there, because you're building on a more solid base than trying to build a foundation on everyone else's platform. And again, the Magician card here, it's like you have the tools, you've got all that you need, you just need to manifest it. Start small if you have to. So yeah, pile number 1, I hope that's helped. And for pile number 2, I might actually take those away. Okay, pile number 2, you have the spleen energy. Again, another neuro-emotional point. Now, the spleen is all about needing to vent or not having the sweetness that you need in your life. What is it that's not, you know, hitting the sweet spot? What is it that you need to let go and vent out? So there are some points that you can rub, and they're just above the knee, about 4 fingers width above the knee, in the inside of the leg. And when you hit them, they might even be tender. Actually, I'm rubbing mine now. Mine aren't particularly tender, but just keep rubbing them until that pain dissipates. You know, we're not talking about physical health here. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a kinesiologist, so I work with the energy system. So the or the meridian system is an energy system. So it's just giving you emotional and metaphysical awareness, so a deeper understanding of where you might hold it in the body. But even just rubbing these points, if they are tender, then continue to rub them, and it might just release some sort of energy blockage. But yeah, again, very similar to the overall message. Like, what is it that you need to vent, let go? Again, we're talking about that throat chakra. you're not finding the joy in your current story, trying to grow something of your own where it does taste sweeter, feels sweeter, and not entangled in some of this negative energy where it's starting to feel really burdensome. The spleen energy, it's a tricky one because it does have that sense of inner rage about it. Like that real frustration, and you may even be craving more sugar at the moment on a physical level. The spleen is one of those energy systems that kind of, when out of balance, really craves sweet things. It's just another metaphysical reference as well, that can translate into the physical. So have a think about that. I am going to get a final message to close out the reading. Okay, for Leo pile number 2. Oh, they're all flipping, but I'm actually wanting, yes. Balance my masculine and feminine sides. The masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. Yeah, I mean, I guess what this card is saying to me in terms of your reading is when we're emotional, it's definitely fitting into the feminine side of ourselves. And I'm not talking about gender here, but just our feminine yin yang energy, where we kind of can internalize things. And so if you are internalizing the sabotage program and not wanting to let anyone down because you are a people pleaser, like those are actually lovely qualities to have in a person when in balance, when you want to naturally give and it doesn't feel like it's a debt. So that's beautiful energy to hold on to. But it's about balancing the masculine energy, where you get to rationalize what is enough. When is your when? Like, when is your cutoff point? Where is your boundaries? It's almost like, yin energy is what we can kind of contain within, and then our yang energy is how we can hold that. It's like, how do we put boundaries around that to kind of balance those energies? So you might need to get a bit like, aggressive is not the right word, a bit assertive on what your energy output is, and balance those two qualities that you have. So that you can kind of step out of this needing to vent, because when you get to the stage of needing to vent, it's already over the boundary, right? It hasn't been maintained at the right time. So yeah, that's your reading, pile number 2. Thank you for watching. Okay, pile number 3, the triple warmer. This is our hormone center. This is our fight, flight, freeze. This is our survival mode. So this is all your adrenal and where you can just really, like, when our hormone system's not working, it misfires and it can keep us in old patterns. So things that could affect you is mood swings. You'll get up and go. Sometimes you might just feel so fatigued by doing this fight. So you might be reaching that point, and again with the fragonia or being fragmented, it's a strong message, and it's a strong consequence. Stress does keep us in that fight or flight mode. So and there's a couple of points that you could rub here, just on it's like the little dent at the back of your shoulder. You will feel it. They'll probably be tender. It's kind of like where you feel you've got the weight on your shoulders. So just rub those points just to release any sort of blockages. Like these are just small remedies that can help, even just to get you into that release mode. It's like you have to set that intention. I believe that any remedy that we come up with is really just a powerful tool to set the intention first and foremost. It's about accepting the responsibility for yourself and by asking any guidance that you can, or whatever you resonate with, to help you through it. But first and foremost is really understanding that you have the power to change what you are trying to carry forward. Like, you get to choose to let go of this. You get to choose to receive this. It's just making that conscious decision and holding that space to elevate step by step, small, 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 if you have to. Just keep slowly, slowly, slowly saying no when you can, when it's comfortable, and saying yes to yourself when you can, when it's comfortable. And so the triple warmer with the hormone, with, you know, the adrenal rush and the stress hormones, just go quiet, go still, maybe even do some breathing exercises, rub those points. Just come back to the reading if you like, just to get another awareness of it, because sometimes you can hear the messages differently. And just kind of, yeah, just come out of that space of more stillness, more inflow. So I'm going to get you a card for the final message, just to close out the reading. Okay, can we have a final message for Leo pile number 3? Oh, 2 messages. Okay. I express my creativity. My unique and creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. Okay, so that's card number 1. And card number 2 is I love my body. I create peacefulness in my mind, and my body reflects this peacefulness as perfect health. Yes, I really feel like that is tying into the stress hormones and the triple warmer. It's like being peaceful and calm. Just like really, really, really trying to cool your body down on a metaphysical level to peace. You know, just take all the heat out of it. Take the charge out of it. Just try and get your body into a very kind of less triggered way, I guess. I know easier said than done, but like I said previously, rub those points, set the intention, just breathe into it, let go. Get sleep is also very important. You might even be struggling with some sleep at the moment with your hormonal changes, but baby steps. And you know, this card here, I express my creativity. You might be in a creative endeavor. This might be a part of your story here and about trying to express it. But when you think about expressing it, it's actually coming from your throat chakra, and what sits under your throat chakra is your thyroid, hormones. So it is kind of all connected, and you know, it is a master gland, so it's telling your body a lot of signals. So when that's blocked or imbalanced, and you're not speaking your truth, and you're not owning who you are, there will be physical consequences eventually. Maybe not now, and hopefully not. And again, I'm not a medical doctor, but just have a think about some of the energetic blockages that have been resonating with you in this reading, and see how they all tie in. And I can assure you, step number 1 is to just surrender and release to it, and get quiet and get slow and get your sleep and take your breathing moments and set some simple intentions for yourself. And you'll see the momentum will build and build and build. So Leo, I hope that's helped. I hope that's resonated. If it has, I would love for you to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And see you next time. Thanks a million.
All of us